There it is.
One long horn, one big eye. I commenced to shaking and I said, ooh-wee. It looks like a purple people eater to me. It was a one-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater. Sure looks strange to me. Well, he came down to earth and he lit a tree. I said, Mr. Purple People Eater, don't eat me. I heard him say in a voice so gruff, I wouldn't eat you 'cause you're so tough. It was a one.
That's enough of that.
That was great.
Seems appropriate.
It works. Welcome to Two Stone Bastards. With me is Jeff Thompson. I'm Dungeon Dan. And I think we're watching big bug movies
We are.
while we're high.
Okay. If we must.
Well, I already see the poster for them. And I grew up watching the 50s big bug, atom bomb, mutated type movies. This one's a 1954 black and white and giant ants, which I never thought were terrifying until I saw them really big. And now it's like they are fucking frightening. This story actually has a lot more plot than I remembered when I rewatched it recently. And of course, the day, the times, the way it was, women were weak, men were strong and brave, holding these silly pistols, the Hollywood pistols. Another all-star cast. James Whitmore was in that one. James Arnaz. We know him from another movie we both like. Although
The
you didn't.
Thing.
The Thing from Another World. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, we didn't get to see him because he's in all of his monster makeup, but, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, were they called irradiated back then? Is that what they were boasting? Not radiation, but irradiated?
Possibly, yes. I know that this was supposed to be taking place near Alamogordo.
Yes.
So,
Which would be New Mexico for some of you folks who can't figure out where that's at. It's where they tested the atom bomb.
And this movie is not to be confused with Van Morrison's original band. Just thought I'd put that out there.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to listen to People Are Strange. So, did we have any UFOs in this movie? Remember how they always go like to stick this with a UFO? Or was that just a pilot, that pilot saying I was forced down by a UFO?
Yeah, he had a UFO that it looked like an ant. So everybody thought it was crazy.
He was just high.
That was it.
That was it. They couldn't acknowledge it back then, but
No.
oh.
Only the jazzos got stoned back in 54.
That's right. That was the jazz scene, wasn't it?
Yeah, my dad was actually a jazz DJ early in the 40s and the 50s.
Really?
He had this really deep voice, and he entered the army for Korea, like 1950, 1949, somewhere in there, and got sent to artillery school in Fort Bliss, Texas.
Wow.
And ended up doing a side gig as a jazz DJ. And he ended up meeting a lot of the big names who were around at that time.
B.B. King?
Well, he's more blues. Yeah, Earl Stanley Garner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Duke Ellington was still around. And the Armstrong was still around. All those guys.
I do get those two styles of music mixed up a bit. The blues and the other one.
Well, just think guitar solos versus saxophones.
See, that's why I was thinking B.B. King. The guy was fucking all over that guitar.
Oh yeah, he was. That's the blues.
Yeah, I fucking love that guy.
Seriously. But anyway, them.
Go ahead. Tell me what you thought. Give me.
Okay,
Let's hear it.
I love this movie. This is probably my favorite old school black and white bug movie. The special effects.
It's what it was for the times.
They're not bad, but it's 1954, so you know the ants don't move around a lot.
No,
But they're big. What I found the best about this movie was here you have a regular cop in the middle of nowhere in the desert. Okay, so in terms of the law enforcement pecking order, this guy's way at the bottom. And yet, throughout the entire movie, he goes from being a cop to working with the FBI guy to being a soldier, firing a bazooka, then rappelling down into the anthill. He's all over this thing. He's attending meetings with bigwigs. And it's just, he's everywhere in this movie. And realistically, there's no reason for him to be.
No, but he's just that tough. He's that tough guy in the film.
He is, man. He's a man.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think of the actor's name. What was his? Was he Major Kibbe? No, he wasn't. He was Trooper Blackburn. That would have been Chris Drake.
Like that.
Chris Drake is the actor. So, okay, look, I'm not gonna give you the hint, but an actor I like a lot had a cameo in this. Not really cameo. He had a small bit. Went on to become cultural icon. Can you guess who I'm talking about?
No.
Mr. Spock himself.
Nimoy, that's right. He wasn't there.
Yep.
Very
briefly. Had lines and all.
Yep. Forrest Tucker was in there.
Was he?
That was the guy in the hospital. He was the pilot.
That's right.
He's
the pilot.
So what happens is this guy stumbles upon this little girl wandering in the desert all alone. And she's catatonic, clearly in shock. They investigate further, find their family's travel trailer that's been ripped apart. And nobody else is around. And they find this bizarre footprint, which ends up getting sent all over the place, including to the FBI, which is where James Arness comes in.
Mm-hmm.
He's the FBI guy. And that, in turn, gets into the hands of the scientist, this guy next to James Arness, this old guy.
Yeah, the Brainiac can never find his glasses and stuff.
Oops. I just appeared.
Uh-oh. I couldn't see that because we got the picture up.
I fell into a black hole while we were taking the picture.
Told you not to do shrooms when you're smoking.
I know.
Black holes are pesky.
They are. They they're hard on the body, all that pressure. But anyway, so they discover. So the old professor and his daughter, who's also a professor, come out and tell them what they've got is giant ants. And lo and behold, one of them shows up.
Make a pretty cool noise too.
Yeah. Very bizarre noise.
Yeah. It's the only thing that brought the little girl out of her
Exactly.
her state. As soon as she heard it, she's like, "It's them."
Yep. And so they find the anthill and discover that a queen has escaped. And they trace the queen to Los Angeles.
Of course.
Naturally.
It's where all the queens go.
Of course.
I'm going to get so much trouble for that.
Probably yes. But, and justifiably so. But, so, a battle ensues. People die. The ants finally get destroyed. Ta-da!
Yep. Simple plot line.
Simple plot line. Well acted. Well written. Well told story. I mean, the only real, from a technical standpoint, the only real downside to it is it was made in 1954.
Yeah.
That's it.
So you had 1954 special effects. So I mean, this is how they did it. And to be honest with you, they did a good job.
They did.
You don't get a lot of movement. It's not realistic, but as a kid, I bought it.
Oh yeah. And then that's how you have to approach these movies from that era. You have to approach it with the wide-eyed enthusiasm and, for lack of a better word, gullibility of a kid.
Yeah, I agree. And being a kid when these movies were out, I just loved the hell out of them.
Yeah, well, I'm not quite that old, but
What, you saying that I'm old just because I was a kid? I didn't say how old.
I wasn't born in 1954.
Well, okay, I see where I made the verbal mistake. But as I grew up on Saturday mornings, we had a show called The World Beyond, and these are the movies you would see: King Kong, Them, The Thing from Outer Space, or Another Planet, whatever the right title is. This is where I got my sci-fi and horror. All the Hammer films were on there. All the Universal monster movies were there. So this was my introduction growing up in a small mountain town in Arizona. So
yeah,
that's where I got the love.
Weekends in Chicago, that was all about mornings. Saturday mornings, you had cartoons.
Yeah, starting at like 5 a.m. up till 10. Then it went in for us. Then it went into World Beyond, and then I got my love of westerns and pirate swashbuckling on Adventure Theater, which is the next 2 hours.
The old Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
The TV show.
Mm-hmm.
The old Buck Rogers TV show.
Yeah.
Those were on. And then, then you would do the sports, whatever the sports was for the Saturday.
Sports, yeah. In my area, from 2 o'clock till about 5, that's when all the sports stuff would come.
Right.
So you had your horror, sci-fi, adventure films, and westerns. And by then I was so sick of being in the house,
Well, yeah, that by then my dad would be watching golf, which is
my dad
golf. And happily, luckily, back in those days, we had this thing called outside.
Outside.
It's a
That's where
scary
the real
place.
action happened.
I know, but yes, that's where we went. You know, you
Yeah.
would watch. Saturday would be lazy. You'd watch some good TV, then you go out and hang out
Yeah.
with the friends.
My
back home.
household.
Come back
Exactly.
home, do dinner, and then like 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, it'd be creature features.
Hmm. Exactly. That's how
And-
your Saturdays went.
That's Saturday. And
Sundays were free
Sunday-
for all.
Sundays were free for all until like 5 in the evening, right about dinner time. You'd have Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom.
Mm. Used to watch that.
Yeah. Then Disney,
I forgot all about Disney.
the old Disney.
Yep.
And then you'd have Family Classics. And Family Classics was always shit like Moby Dick and Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yeah.
Time Machine.
Time Machine.
Time Machine.
Used to love that one.
Mysterious Island.
Mm-hmm. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea was another one of the Saturday morning shows that we got.
Yep.
That series. Of course, then you had all the Sid and Marty Krofft stuff.
That was a little bit later. The Sid Marty Krofft stuff, the banana splits and the
Yeah, okay, I guess you're right.
Chongo.
What was the one with Witchy Poo? I don't think that was Sid and Marty Krofft either. But HR Puffin stuff.
HR puppet stuff, yeah.
See, I can remember being really, really young, seeing that Gilligan's Island. Lost in Space was one of my favorites. Love that cup, by the way.
We all float. But anyway,
On your cup.
that moves us on to Big Ass Spider.
Oh my God, this movie was so much fun. I didn't think it would be
I didn't either.
but you know what? It turned out to be a simple.
The
funny.
trailer was pretty cool.
That's what
caught
got me to
with
watch
the
it.
Trailer, yeah.
Yeah. So downtown LA, you have a pest control guy, lovable guy, kind of big, goofy, funny. Always looking for, a girlfriend. Who gets himself hurt, goes to a hospital, doesn't really want to pay the bill, but an experimental spider that they supposedly didn't know they had got away, and they sent him down to try to get it. That's how our movie starts.
Yeah. And at the time, the spider's about this big.
Yeah, teeny tiny little thing. It's not that bad, but it grows really quick. I don't know. This movie had everything. The sidekick, the security guard. I'm trying to think of his name. Was it Ramon? No, Ramirez. That guy almost stole the whole movie. He was
Almost.
so funny
Yes,
in
he
his
was.
lines. So, it turns into a big bug chase throughout Los Angeles. Spiders getting bigger and bigger. As you can see in this photo, he's quite big. That's the ultimate, and that's where he's the most dangerous. Was that stage 5?
Yeah, whatever it was.
Yeah,
Some
stage 5, basically.
scientific garbage.
Exactly. But if you water it down, stage 5 is it can reproduce. So they're trying to kill this thing before it lays eggs.
Right.
Of course, we get the hot military girl.
Which I couldn't find a picture of for some reason, which is a travesty.
I don't know. I can check Pornhub real quick.
Jeez.
And of course, our exterminator's in love with her,
Naturally.
and she's obviously likes him too. But they keep getting thrown into the mix together, trying to track down the spider, and then in this final scene of fighting the spider. Um, I got to tell you, I love the way this movie started with him waking up, laying in the middle of a street, sitting up,
Yes.
looking around. Everything is going slow motion. Stuff is falling from the 50th floor of some building. People are running around. Army and cops are shooting. It was really cool.
Right. All
And
in
they-
slow motion.
Yeah, and then they work. Then they take you back to when when we first meet the exterminator, and they work you back up to that scene, which is actually the
This
big
one.
battle scene
Right.
at the end. And I thought that was the best way to fucking
Yeah.
do this story.
Yeah.
It's like I want to write a book now, and I want to start it the same way. Wake you up in the middle of the shitstorm, and then walk you through it to get back to it. Nice little circle.
Yeah. It's a great technique of storytelling, but it's like the people who try to imitate Tarantino and his non-linear style. Non-linear can work, but you got to be good at it.
You got to know what you're doing. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Because I have seen other movies and read some books where that they attempted something similar.
Yeah.
It just didn't work for me.
No.
And it's simply because I don't know if it wasn't well thought out or just poorly executed.
Well, it's hard to do. You gotta be top of your game. And
I mean,
some
you almost have to write the whole story first and to say, okay, now my beginning is at my end. Let me pluck it and pull you around and change it up just a little bit. The whole slow-mo thing. Because when we get to that point at the end of the movie, it's no longer slow-mo.
Right.
It's all fast motion. But it's everything we've already seen. So I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, it was great. They did a great job of it.
Lloyd Kaufman makes an appearance in this film. I don't know. I'm always a Lloyd Kaufman fan, trauma films. So anytime I see him pop into a movie, it's just a good time.
I know James Gunn is a trauma veteran.
Alumni.
Yes.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah. I think he wrote Toxic Avenger 2.
That's the whole thing about
Like
today. A lot of the big filmmakers now, you came from one of two camps. If you were on the East Coast, you're Kaufman. You were in part of the trauma team.
Yeah.
If you're on the West Coast, you were part of Roger Corman's group.
Yep.
And just about everybody that is you think is a great director or actor or writer have all come from these small production companies that were out there making these films cheaply as possible, yet entertaining. In most cases, very entertaining. They all made their own, they all had some rotten eggs. And there's a lot of, I'll tell you what, Corman's probably got the biggest handful of I'm stoned and want to watch a movie type of bullshit, like Death Race 2000.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a good movie, but when you're high, it's funny as fuck.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. When they, that scene where the nurses and doctors put all the old people out in the road
Right.
so they can get hit.
Specifically
car-
to get hit.
Yeah, and the car diverts and takes out the nurses and doctors.
See, and this is all great stuff. It's good
yeah.
story writing. It's like, okay, we're expecting to watch all the old people get splattered. Nope.
And that's what these bug movies are great at. They're just fun. Like one of my favorites is Eight-Legged Freaks.
I like that one a lot too. And that's another. See, I got a spider issue, so I'm not real big on a lot of spider movies, but Eight-Legged Freaks was fun. The humor was great. The spiders were great. Everything about the movie was great. I mean, a double feature, big ass spider, Eight-Legged Freaks.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get movies like Arachnophobia that are literally just terrifying to me.
Yeah, they're terrifying.
Yeah. geez, I saw that in a theater, and I was on the back row next to the wall. I couldn't stay comfortable. I kept thinking they were coming, a spider was going to come down on the wall. I was so freaked out. Good time.
Good times, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that I'm not there, it was awesome.
Cool. But anyway, yes, bug movies are just awesome. Then you've got the, what is that? Vulcan Angela or whatever.
Oh, the one is that the one from the volcanoes?
Yeah.
I think I know. I don't know the title though.
And it came out the same time as that classic Sharknado.
Classic.
The guy they originally wanted for Sharknado ended up doing this Tarantula Volcano movie instead.
See, that's almost when it's time to stop making films, when you've run out of ideas to where you're like, all right, let's throw sharks in a tornado. Let's have spiders from a volcano.
At least the one good thing about the Sci-Fi Network, their string of movies, is they are more or less original.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, it's not just another superhero movie. It's not just another remake or reboot.
Mm-hmm.
Or Splattergut 17. It's
Yeah. I think for me, it just falls short when you decide you're going to cheap out where you should spend the most of your money. That's USA's business model. Get the best actors and a shitty script and a 15-year-old that's trying to get at least a D on his grade card in his computer graphics class. And that ruins a lot of things for me. Now, as much as I like to shit all over Sharknado, I will admit it is fun to watch celebrities just get pummeled.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of the fans, that's really what they want. But the stories are so horrible, I can't sit through them all. And
some of the actors, like Tara Reid, I mean, yeah, she's great eye candy. But that chick couldn't act her way out of a wet paper bag.
I can only think of a couple movies where she was even tolerable.
I know.
And if we get hate mail for that, that's fine. You got to be honest, guys. Come on. She's very pretty. Could have used a little more. She's too wooden when she acts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I think she spent a little bit too much time partying with Paris Hilton.
Oh my God. Anybody can last a party with her is fucking on their game. That woman can drink.
God. Train wrecks I have known. But anyway,
very true.
That brings us to the end.
Oh, it was so fun.
It was.
That's all right.
Both of these movies are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're not stoned. But if you happen to be blazing away,
definitely.
Awesome.
All right. Take us out, Jeff.
We will see you next time.
Adios.